Sweet Jamaica. National Heroes. Nanny of the Maroons, circa 1686 to 1755. Nanny of the Maroons was a legendary leader and a powerful symbol of resistance against British colonial rule in Jamaica. A courageous and determined woman, she led the Windward Maroons, a community of escaped enslaved Africans who sought refuge in the island's rugged hills and forests. Nanny's leadership was central to the Maroons' successful defense against British forces, using guerrilla warfare, intimate knowledge of the terrain, and careful strategy to protect their freedom. Her ability to inspire loyalty and courage in her people made her a formidable figure against oppression. Oral histories and cultural traditions also speak of Nanny's spiritual guidance, which strengthened the resolve of her warriors and fostered unity within the community. Under her leadership, the Maroons defended their freedom and played a key role in securing peace treaties in the 1730s and 1740s that granted their settlements autonomy and protection. Beyond her military skill, Nanny worked to preserve African cultural practices, rituals, and knowledge, ensuring that Maroon communities maintain their heritage and identity. Her wisdom and foresight shaped the social and political structures of the Maroons, creating a foundation for generations to come. Today, Nanny is celebrated as a national heroine whose courage, wisdom, and dedication continue to inspire Jamaicans. Her legacy lives on in the stories, traditions, and pride of our people who honor her memory and the enduring spirit of freedom. Samuel Sam Sharp, 1801 to 1832. Samuel Sam Sharp was a Baptist deacon and a central leader of the 1831 to 32 Christmas Rebellion, one of the most significant uprisings in Jamaica's history. Born into slavery, Sharp rose to prominence through his intelligence, leadership, and deep commitment to ending slavery. Guided by his Christian faith, he believed that slavery was a moral evil and that freedom was a God-given right. The movement he helped organize began as a peaceful strike for wages and better treatment, inspired by hopes that freedom was near. But it soon escalated into a major rebellion that left a lasting mark on Jamaican history. When the colonial authorities responded with force, the uprising was violently suppressed, and Sharp was executed for his role. His courage and leadership transformed him into a lasting symbol of resistance to oppression. Despite the brutal repression, Sharp's actions exposed the harsh realities of slavery and drew wider attention in Britain. Although he did not live to see the abolition of slavery, his rebellion added momentum to the movement and highlighted the inhumane conditions faced by enslaved Africans. Sharp's vision of freedom rested on his belief in the equality and dignity of all people. He is remembered as a man who stood firm in his convictions even in the face of death, and his legacy continues to inspire the fight for human rights and equality. Today, Sam Sharp is celebrated as a Jamaican national hero whose sacrifice helped bring the island closer to freedom and justice, and his memory continues to inspire all who struggle against oppression. George William Gordon, 1820 to 1865. George William Gordon was a man ahead of his time, an entrepreneur, politician, and humanitarian who used his wealth and influence to champion the rights of Jamaica's poor and disenfranchised. Born of mixed-race heritage, Gordon was a successful landowner, but he consistently used his position to advocate for political reform and social justice rather than to align with the colonial elite. He spoke out for the rights of the black and mixed-race population, calling for fair treatment, political representation, and the removal of laws that perpetuated inequality. Gordon's role in Jamaica's history became most prominent during the Morant Bay Rebellion. Although he did not lead the uprising, his support for the grievances of the people and his vocal criticism of the colonial government made him a target. In 1865, he was arrested, tried, and executed by the British authorities despite having no direct involvement in the rebellion itself. His trial and execution were widely viewed as acts of political retribution designed to silence dissent. Gordon's death exposed the injustice of colonial rule and drew attention both in Jamaica and in Britain to the oppressive conditions faced by the island's population. While he did not live to see reforms that followed, his life and sacrifice became a powerful symbol of resistance to oppression. Gordon is remembered as a leader who devoted himself to justice, equality, and the dignity of all people. His legacy endures in Jamaica's ongoing struggle for human rights and social reform. Today, George William Gordon is celebrated as a national hero, honored not only for his association with the Morant Bay Rebellion, but also for his lifelong efforts to uplift and protect the Jamaican people. Paul Bogle, 1822 to 1865. Paul Bogle was an icon of resistance and a martyr for justice in Jamaica's history. Born in St. Thomas, he became a Baptist deacon and a respected leader in his community. In 1865, he led the Morant Bay Rebellion, a response to the severe social and economic hardships faced by the Jamaican population after emancipation, including poverty, limited access to land, and political disenfranchisement. Bogle, known for his courage and moral conviction, organized the people of Stony Gut to demand justice, fair treatment, and relief from the persistent inequalities under colonial rule. When the British authorities responded with overwhelming force, the rebellion was quickly crushed, and Bogle was captured and executed. His leadership and sacrifice made him a lasting symbol of resistance to oppression. Although the uprising was brutally suppressed, it revealed the depth of frustration and suffering among Jamaica's black population and forced the empire to confront the consequences of its policies. Bogle did not live to see the reforms that eventually followed, but the events at Morant Bay prompted debates in Britain and laid the foundation for long-term political and social change. His legacy is that of a leader who risked and gave his life for justice and dignity in a post-emancipation society. Bogle is remembered for his clarity of purpose and unwavering commitment to human rights, and he is honored as one of Jamaica's most important figures in the fight for equality. Today, his memory is commemorated annually, and his role in Jamaica's journey towards freedom continues to inspire all who stand against injustice. Sir Alexander Bustamante, 1884 to 1977. Sir Alexander Bustamante was one of Jamaica's most influential political leaders and the island's first prime minister after independence in 1962. Born in Jamaica, he became a champion of the working class and a lead figure in the labor movement, using his voice and leadership to fight for the rights of ordinary Jamaicans. In 1938, he founded the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, to advocate for better wages, working conditions, and protections for laborers, laying the foundation for modern labor laws. Bustamante's dedication to the people propelled him into politics, and in 1944, he became one of the first Jamaicans elected to the Legislative Council under universal adult suffrage. In 1947, he founded the Jamaica Labour Party, which he led until his death. and his leadership played a vital role in guiding Jamaica towards independence. As Prime Minister, Bustamante focused on economic development, infrastructure, and expanding public services. His government also supported education and healthcare improvements while promoting economic independence and opportunities for Jamaicans. Although his leadership was sometimes controversial, particularly in his rivalry with Norman Manley and his pragmatic approach to some issues, his role in achieving independence and strengthening the labor movement remains undeniable. Bustamante's vision for a free and self-reliant Jamaica was realized during his lifetime, and his contributions to the country's political and social systems continue to shape Jamaica's development. Today, he is celebrated as the founding father of modern Jamaica and a national hero whose dedication to the people set the course for the nation's future. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, 1887 to 1940. Marcus Mosiah Garvey was a visionary, an orator, and a leader whose influence extended far beyond Jamaica. Born in St. Anne, he became one of the most important Black leaders of the 20th century. In 1914, he founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, to promote unity, pride, and self-reliance among people of African descent. After traveling through Central America and England, Garvey went to the United States in 1916 to raise funds and expand the work of the UNIA, a move that marked the beginning of his broad international impact. Through the UNIA, Garvey encouraged economic empowerment, urging Black communities to establish their own businesses, schools, and institutions. His slogan, "Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will," became a rallying cry for dignity and self-determination. Garvey's vision of Pan-Africanism inspired people across the globe, and his Back to Africa philosophy emphasized pride, cultural identity, and the potential for Africans to shape their own destinies. In the United States, his ideas gained widespread support among African Americans, although they also faced criticism and opposition. In 1923, he was convicted of mail fraud in a trial many historians considered politically motivated, and was deported to Jamaica. Despite this setback, Garvey remained committed to Black empowerment and racial pride until his death in 1940. His teachings influenced future movements for civil rights and global liberation, highlighting the importance of economic self-reliance, unity, and dignity. Today, Marcus Garvey is remembered as a national hero in Jamaica and a symbol of strength, vision, and Pan-African unity. His life shows how one individual can inspire a worldwide movement for justice and equality. Norman Washington Manley, 1893 to 1969. Norman Washington Manley was a towering figure in Jamaica's political history, renowned for his intellect, commitment to social justice, and pivotal role in the island's path to independence. Born into a prominent family, he was educated in Jamaica and at Oxford University, becoming one of the most articulate and well-read leaders of his time. A lawyer by profession, Manley devoted himself to advancing civil rights and ensuring that Jamaica's poor and disenfranchised had a voice in the political process. He led the People's National Party and served as Jamaica's chief minister from 1955 to 1961. During his tenure, he championed constitutional reforms, universal suffrage, and policies that laid the groundwork for Jamaica's independence from Britain in 1962. Manley was also a visionary for Jamaica's social and cultural development. He promoted a nation that would include all Jamaicans, regardless of race or social class, and his government initiated programs to expand education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. He supported national development initiatives, including efforts to preserve Jamaica's natural resources and promote the arts, helping to shape the island's cultural identity. His leadership, integrity, and dedication to justice earned him widespread respect, and his contributions were crucial in guiding Jamaica towards self-governance. Today, Norman Manley is celebrated as one of Jamaica's founding fathers, remembered for his profound impact on the country's independence, governance, and cultural life.